Hey guys, welcome to the episode 1 of the Empowered AI podcast. Today I'm joined by Erica, founder of Cosmo Content, also my partner. Today we'll be diving deep into her current processes, how she uses AI, how she gets the most out of AI, and how she's managed to build a business from 0 clients to serving over 40 clients Australia-wide with the help and integration of AI. So Erica, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So for anyone that doesn't know you, give us a little bit of breakdown of how you got into the space, a little bit about what you do, the type of clients that you serve, and then we'll dive more into the AI side of things later.
Yep. So I started Cosmo Content around 2 years ago. It's a social media marketing agency currently based in Melbourne. We work with a lot of beauty clients and specialize in the beauty industry. Basically, what we do is social media management. So we run all of the social media side of things. We do photography, videography, basically running all of the social media side for our clients.
Awesome. And serving mainly beauty clients, yes?
Yes, correct.
Great. So I really want to dive into what your day-to-day looks like. You're a one-person business at the moment. And I want to explain to our viewers how you've managed to grow so big being a one-person business using AI. So run us through from, let's say, a client engages with you all the way to client delivery, what that process looks like and the steps in between.
So once a client does engage with us at the very beginning, we'll always start with a strategy call, understand the client, who they are, and what their goals are with social media. Once that is done and we know what the client is exactly after, we will go ahead and create a content plan and a strategy. So we like to create a content calendar, which will include all of the content for the month, and we'll run that through with them as well, make sure that they're all happy with it, and we'll go ahead to the shooting phase. So I like to go see my clients, shoot for them, film for them, and once that's all done, we'll get to editing. Once we do edit that content, we'll send that through to them, and if they are happy with it, then we're ready to post. So it is a process, but once you have been working with a client for a certain period of time, it just becomes like clockwork and you really understand that client's vibe.
Definitely. And you didn't mention outreach. So I wanted to touch on outreach because Erica obviously engaged myself, Empowered AI, because basically we're always together. So we decided to build a tool for a business. And pretty much it was just an outreach engine that replaced a lot of manual work that you're doing. So if you'd like to explain to everyone how you were previously doing outreach and how long it was taking you.
Yeah, so when I first started my business 2 years ago, my outreach process probably wasn't the best. I was DMing probably 50 leads on Instagram a day, which was taking me hours every single day finding these accounts and then trying to write a personalized message each day. And the result from that honestly wasn't the best. Same with emailing the clients and cold calling. I didn't see a very high result from that. But obviously I did speak to James about it, and he came up with an email automation system, which really helped me a lot. And I'm sure he'll go into more detail about that project. But it was such a great tool, and it would send out personalized emails to leads with such great information that was so personalized to that client that it did not seem like it was coming from AI at all, but was coming from myself. And
Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing. It's the personalization that I think we found the reason why we found so much success in the tool and the automation. And basically from there, Erica's landed a client that's been with her for 12 months.
Yeah, 12 months.
So 12 months of continuously recurring revenue, all from a personalized email outreach that was sent while she was doing other things and other tasks to build up her business. And I think that's what the key shift was. Previously, she was doing a lot of DMs, emails, but not the level of personalization that AI can provide. And you can really see, I mean, the tools perform so well, we just had to turn it off.
Yeah, it was crazy how it performed. And the fact that it runs on its own is also amazing. Like the amount of hours it was taking me to outreach when I first started my business, it was taking away from so many other tasks that I could have been doing within the business to continue evolving my skill or continue to be helping another factor in the business. But with this automation system, it was able to just continue running while I was shooting for clients, creating strategies, posting for clients, etc. So it was just such a game changer. It's crazy.
Not only was it saving time, but it was also producing better results than Erica herself manually doing the tool was as well. So it's really just a double win.
Yeah.
So outreach has been taken care of. When we move on to more of the next stage, so your client content calendars, your caption writing, more of the operational stuff within the business, if you'd like to break down to the audience, just to get some ideas, some of the tools that you're using.
Yeah, of course. So I did start by using ChatGPT when I first started my business. I used that to help me with a lot of content calendars, caption writing, emails as well. But I have noticed that it has declined as I've continued using it over time. I feel that the answers it's giving me aren't very prompted to what I'm asking it, and it's not giving me a lot of depth. So I have moved over to Gemini, and I've found it really great, especially with caption writing and the way that I am prompting the tool. It's been giving me such great answers that I continuously have been using it every day for all different tasks, and it's just been great. So ChatGPT for certain things, but I have mainly been using Gemini for a lot of tasks, as well as CapCut. There's a lot of AI tools that are integrated within the system, and Canva as well. And I also do use Higgsfield AI, which is a video creation tool where you prompt it and it can create such amazing videos, which are so cool. I'm sure you've seen them before. It's just insane what it can create. So I do use a couple of tools within my day-to-day.
Yeah, so you've got more in your operational back end when you're trying to do your captions, content plans, ideas. You're using the large language models, and I'm sure you would understand by now. What we've seen with the large language models is they're really only as good as you prompt it. So a lot of people think, these large language models are just going to completely wipe out their jobs and it's the end of the world. No, a lot of the time it's how good you can prompt. It's still the creative side of yourself. And when you feed those ideas to these large language models in the correct way, you get an enhanced output. Pretty much just allows us to take our idea and view our idea in different scenarios, different areas, explore it deeper with the help of these large language models. So you've got those large language models on the operational back end. Then you've got the creative side of things. So you've got your Canva, you've got your CapCut, and you've got your Higgsfield AI.
Yeah.
So with Higgsfield AI, I'd like to dive into that one more because I'd really like to understand in how you're using it to help client delivery and client content.
Yeah, so with Instagram, there's always going to be a trend and it's so quick. It's always evolving. So with my clients, I have such great relationships with them. We're always sending each other back and forth certain videos and certain things that they see that they like. That's what led me to Higgsfield, as well as you told me about it too. But with certain videos that are obviously very hard to achieve with unrealistic type of videos that are really creative and super cool, Higgsfield's able to do them with just a prompt and just a photo. So it's just amazing what it can do. I created a certain video for one of my clients where they explained to me exactly what they wanted and were able to achieve that all through Higgsfield just with 2 photos and a great prompt. So going back to prompting, I feel like that's such an important piece when you're trying to speak to these AI tools. Again, as you said, the way that you prompt the tools is how it's going to respond back to you. So when I first started using ChatGPT and those sort of tools, I don't think I was prompting it very well. I was giving it one-liners and not really giving it a lot of information, and it didn't feed a lot back to me. But as time's gone on, I've learned how to prompt these tools properly, and it can give you such great information just with a better prompt. So going back to Higgsfield, when you do prompt these tools correctly, it can give you amazing results. So it's really all in the prompt.
And that's just expanding really the creativeness of yourself and your clients.
Yeah.
See, previously, and this is just such a huge upgrade that we've got now with these tools, these AI tools, is previously, if we had a creative vision, a lot of times it was too expensive to execute. But now these creative tools are at the palm of our hands to where the possibilities are really endless. And we're seeing creative people within the space in all realms of business really outrun and outwork those who aren't, at the end of the day, mundane and not looking to evolve or change their industry or change their space. So props to you for working hard and really trying to change your industry.
Thank you.
I'd also like to touch on another side of AI. So obviously when you first started using AI around 2 years ago, it can be quite challenging to switch over to even make an investment, to try out different projects. What led you to do so?
To do the email automation?
Yeah, to do the email automation, to at the end of the day purchase different softwares and subscriptions to try and at least explore.
I think a big factor would also be you, considering that you're in the AI space and always giving me so much information about it, about how useful it can be. But I think it's such an amazing tool, and seeing what it could do for other businesses, like you just have to try it out and see what it can do for yourself. And just taking that risk, because at the end of the day, that risk is going to teach you something, if it's good or bad, and taking that risk to use AI and see what it can do for you, because it's always going to be a learning experience. So yeah, I think just taking the risk to do it, and just making that investment, because I've seen what it can do and I wanted to try it out for my own business.
I'm going to ask you an interesting one.
Okay.
Do you think you'd be able to run your business in terms of how many clients you have at the moment without AI?
No.
Wow.
I don't think I could. Sometimes I don't even realize the amount I actually rely on it. Like every day I'm speaking to it about caption writing, planning, scheduling. This can be done on my own, but it wouldn't be done as good as AI. And the speed that it works at is insane. It's a speed that I'm not able to work out myself.
So yeah, you've almost replaced, let's say AI wasn't in the picture. How many employees do you reckon you'd need?
4 or 5.
4 or 5. So when you're looking at 4 or 5 potential employees on $70,000 a year wages, you're looking at saving, $500,000 a year, and that's just by utilizing large language models, which most of them are in the market right now for free. And then when you take that and expand that and you start building out automations, you start building out processes, you start building out tools, the savings, and not even the savings, but the level of output that you can operate at are just insane.
Insane. It's crazy how much it does. Insane.
Awesome. Another thing I want to touch on, we're building something new that's going to come to the, you could say, digital marketing space. Also for Erica's business, Cosmo Content, which is crazy. It's basically going to be able to pull social media data all into one location, take that data, use these large language models based off Erica's understanding and information of the beauty industry, take all of that, paired with content calendars, paired with custom dashboards and logins. Erica, you explain more because it's crazy.
Yeah, it's such a crazy tool that we've been talking about, but a lot of my clients want a space where they can see their data analytics for the month, where they can see what their feed's going to look like, what their content plans are for the month. So me and James have been discussing creating a custom dashboard where each of my clients will have a login where they can log into the dashboard and literally see everything on the one page. So they can see next month's content, or how did we go in this month, what worked, what didn't work, as well as what their feed will look like for the next month. Especially working in the beauty industry, it's such a big thing, aesthetics, and of course looking very beautiful. So yeah, it's just a crazy system and tool that we're going to be creating such a game changer because it's all in one space and it'll all be personalized to that client. So I can't wait.
So you're pretty much taking your client's ideal, you could say, dashboard or working space, whatever it is, and just building that for them.
Yeah.
See, that's a level that we wouldn't be able to achieve, 5-6 years ago in terms of cost. But now, businesses like Erica, small businesses, are enhancing their perceived value to their clients by creating these tools that are honestly game changing, because their clients are going to be able to log in. They're going to be able to see all their data in one location. They're going to be able to see content plans. They're going to be able to see their Instagram feeds. It's just going to be crazy. So super excited to watch that tool come out, and definitely watch this space. Another thing I wanted to touch on as well, you mentioned using CapCut and Canva. Why do you use them?
I've been using both those platforms since the start. I've noticed with both of them, they're always evolving. So they're always integrating certain AI tools and just tools in general into them. And I love always seeing a different tool that I can use while I'm working. It's crazy. They're always evolving. So that's why I use them.
Erica's touched on something there called the operating layer. So when we look at the operating layer, we look at the company's softwares that they're using. And too often I see businesses approach myself that they come to me and they say, James, we want to automate, we want AI tools. Until I look under the hood and I look at their operating layer and I look at the softwares and the partners, the partners that the software.
Softwares?
Sorry, I look at the softwares that they've partnered with, and these softwares are just outdated. They're old. They don't have any APIs. They're not releasing any new integration or tools. So what Erica's done, and what I'd suggest a lot of businesses do, is look to partner with the correct tools. Look to reach out and start to build confidence with the leading softwares in the market. Once you partner with these tools, you'll have your API integrations, you have new features, you have an understanding of the platform, and from there, you'll just grow. But it's when you have a broken operating layer that things get really hard.
I think as well, with using the same platforms over such a long period of time, you just get to learn them so well. And like, I know these platforms like the back of my hand now. It's so easy to use them, and as well as them always evolving, it's just great that I've been able to really adapt to the way that they work, and it's just so simple for me now to be able to use
that's
them.
the thing that makes it hard.
Yeah.
Companies have been using these softwares for like 5-6 years. They don't want to migrate away. If you're a new business, choose the right softwares is just a huge one that a lot of people overlook. They jump into quickly the wrong CRM, the wrong project management tool, the wrong editing tool.
100%.
And from there, it becomes very hard for us to automate and look at implementing AI into the business.
Yeah, you definitely want to stick with the same platform because, again, once you learn how to use that platform to the best of its ability, you'll see such an immense growth within that too.
100%. Before we wrap it up, I want to ask you a question. New business owner, or even a business owner that hasn't dabbled with AI, hasn't invested in any projects, hasn't really tried out a lot of softwares or subscriptions or tools, what would you say to them?
I think what I would say to a business owner that hasn't dabbled into AI yet is to just take that risk and to not fear it. Really take that risk and invest into those AI tools, whether it be a Gemini membership or using certain tools that include AI. It'll help your business so much. And within myself, I've seen a huge change in my business when I started using AI correctly. It's saved me so much time. Like, I can't even explain how much time it saved me. I would say just take that risk and don't be afraid of AI, but just use it. Go all in on it. And yeah, if you do make mistakes or you do fail, again, that's only going to teach you more lessons. And within my business, I've made so many mistakes and failed thousands of times, but that has taught me so many lessons, not only within my business, but also in my personal everyday life. So just take that risk and go for it. And whether it be a good or bad result, it's a lesson learned at the end of the day.
Awesome. Erica, you've generated 30 million plus organic views. What's your secret?
Well, working closely within the beauty industry, and of course it's been over a 2-year period, I've seen it evolve over time. So I've seen trends move, I've seen what works and what doesn't work. And that's for any business in any time period. You'll continuously see what's going to work and what doesn't work, especially when you're calculating certain metrics on different posts and things like that. But within the beauty industry, generating that many views, what I've noticed works best is when you're breaking down content into pillars. And this can be for any industry, but specifically for the industry that I specialize in, breaking down content into certain pillars is what's going to generate you the most views, as well as keep you organized, as well as consistency, posting consistently. Within the beauty space, what's generated my clients the most views is satisfying content. Satisfying content, educational content, and trending content. That's the 3 pillars that I like to separate my clients' content into. And yeah, that's where I've just seen growth and the most amount of views. But in saying that, I don't think views are everything. And
She doesn't think views are everything.
no, I don't
Put that on
think...
the front paper. A lot of people need to hear that. A lot of people just love the views.
100%. Of course, views are a great thing, and it's amazing to see that many people watching your video. But it isn't everything at the end of the day, and it's not a calculated metric that you should be looking at for the growth of your business. Of course, it's an amazing thing when your content does well, and that's what I'm here to do for you. But the main goal is to convert these people viewing your content into a customer that's going to be staying with you.
And how do we do that?
Again, through those certain pillars of content. So when my clients are posting that satisfying content, yeah, it's getting 2 to 3 million views, but those views are going to turn into followers, and then those followers are going to watch the educational content, the next pillar, and they're going to say, oh, this person is knowledgeable in their craft, know what they're doing, let me book a consultation with them, or let me have a look at their other work. They're going to see trendy, funny ones. They're going to see, oh, these people are real people. I trust them. So it's all an evolving cycle.
That is some fire sauce. If you're a beauty business, or even in the marketing space, that is something that you're going to want. So what is it?
100%.
Lay it out.
So there's 3 pillars.
Satisfying content.
There's your satisfying content.
Bring in the engagement. Bring in the views.
Bring in the views.
Bring in the follower.
There's your educational content.
Inform the viewer.
Inform the viewer on whatever treatment it is you're doing, or literally anything educational about your work and your business, even if it is getting to know who you are.
Next one.
And then the next pillar I like to use is that trending, fun, TikTok.
So like build, and then you build a community. You become relatable.
Community. So these 3 pillars are what's going to help you continue to grow.
Awesome. That's it was meant to be an AI podcast, and it turned into a marketing masterclass. Anything else you'd like to touch on, Erica, before we finish up?
Again, I think if you're a small business wanting to take that step into growth and into becoming the person who you want to be, just take that step and don't be afraid of anything, because again, all those fails and all that doubt that's in your mind at the start of building your business is what's going to help you grow. Like, you're going to look back at those times and laugh, and you're going to look back at those times and look at how much you've grown. And I think something that's important is to always remember where you came from, and always look back to the time when you first started your business, or if you haven't started a business yet, when you were thinking about the idea, always look at where you came from and how far you've grown, because it's something that I know James and I always forget where we came from. And I think that it's such an important thing to just look at, because you see the journey, you see the growth, and you just always have to be grateful for it.
Shit, we're preaching out here. We preaching.
Yeah.
That's a good message. I guess that's with anything in life.
Anything in life,
Never
not just
forget where you
business.
came from. Not just business. Look at how far you've come in terms of where you started and how you're evolving as a business, as a person, as a partner,
Yeah.
whatever it is, and go from there. But that's episode 1 of the Empowered AI podcast. We touched on AI. We touched on tools right now in Erica's business that are performing, that are saving her time. We touched on a marketing masterclass. Far out. That's a big one. We touched on some preaching. If you want to find Erica, links in the bio. Cosmo Content AU on the gram. Other than that, let's wrap that one up.
Thanks for having me.